This is an unbelievable afternoon.
Do you want to know why impala are the most common antelope we find here in the Kruger National Park? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live. Connect with nature.
Greatest wildlife spectacle on planet Earth. We'll see you there.
For years, we've shared virtual wildlife. Now, let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur, and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
Would you like to know at what age a buffalo calf gets its horns? These are questions that you can ask me in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
Ria, you say the best kind of roadblock? Absolutely. Look at this.
Hello, girls.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing.
Incredible.
Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. The best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Hi everyone. I just want to apologize. We had some technical issues, but now the show can continue. So welcome. This is obviously a live show, so all comments and questions are welcome. My name is Shannon. I'm new. So yeah, let me know what you want to know or if you have anything to say. As you can see at the moment, we're at Betty's Bay. Doesn't look like a very sunny day. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, as I said, I'm open to all questions. And yeah, just keen to hear what you all have to say and see what your knowledge is. And you can obviously test my knowledge. And yeah. So I'm not sure if anything lives in these rocky bits. Over here. Morning, Ari. Welcome. So anyone who's international, not from South Africa, tomorrow is our Heritage Day here. So I think everyone at work today or maybe Thursday is dressing up in their cultural colors or outfits, which is very cool. It's always nice to see where everyone's from. Maybe if everyone can give a shout out from where they're from. Hey, so now we've moved on to Tembe Elephant Park, and there you can see some elephants, which is great. Looks like a beautiful day, looking a bit dry though. Elephants are rushing off somewhere. Oh, seems to be quite a nice sized herd. Can see some coming in from the left. There we go. Oh, and then we have some impala in the background as well. They're always lovely to see. I know they're very common, but I still think they're so beautiful. So lovely watching them just doing their thing, cooling themselves down, having a little drink. It'd be nice if they would go for a swim as well.
This unfolds in front of you.
Even our hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word. She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Woo. This is action-packed.
Would you like to know the difference between a male and a female wildebeest? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
The bush, full of beauty, wonder, and absolute chaos. And now, all that madness has its own show. It's called a Wild Bush Week. The countdown of the most outrageous, heart-stopping, and sometimes downright ridiculous wildlife moments of the week. Lions throwing their weight around. Hyenas gate-crashing the buffet. Leopards doing, well, leopardy things. Each week, it's a fresh reel of safari gold. A mix of drama.
She's just got an impala, everybody.
Danger, and a healthy dose of laughter. So, if you fancy a highlight show with bite, and I don't mean just the animals, tune in to a Wild Bush Week. You bring the tea, and we'll bring the tusks, tails, and teeth.
With the foot and mouth disease, I work with sort of side projects related to the buffalo, like their gut microbiome and their hormones, and how that is sort of affected by the virus, or sometimes some of the work I do is completely unrelated to the virus. So yeah, hello, melanistic marble. Oh gosh, yeah, I'm so glad I'm not in London. The weather's much better here. You should probably come visit. So Tembe is quite close to the Mozambique border. It's really lush and normally quite green, quite hot. Yeah, we obviously haven't. So, it's looking a bit dry at the moment. Obviously, we haven't had much rain at the moment. We're going into, well, I suppose spring has started now. It came a little early this year. I know they've had a little bit of rain down there, but obviously not much. And I believe we're going to go look at some more elephants in the next slide. There we go. I'll look at these guys. Oh, you see that one elephant has a skew tusk. That's quite cool. Will not mention the extra appendage on the left elephant over there. Hi, Martin. Why did I want to study zoology? I think it's from living in Africa, just surrounded by the wildlife and just nature, and I've always been sort of that type of person. Definitely not a business person. Don't talk to me about economics. but definitely talk to me about plants, animals, the stars. Definitely more sort of natural sciences. All right. Okay, and I see now we've bumped over to Jamala in Madikwe. It's a nice sized waterhole. Obviously nothing's thirsty right now. Everything, it's looking a bit... there are no high trees nearby, so maybe the animals are having a break in the shade. Has anyone been to Madikwe? I also have not been to this one, but I know it very well. Apparently, it is a malaria-free game reserve, so anyone coming from overseas, it's a great place to go. But yeah, not too much happening over here at the moment. I wouldn't mind taking a swim in the waterhole. Hi, Hans. So I visited most of Southern Africa, so all the way Kenya, Uganda, Malawi, of course, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana. I have not been to Namibia yet. I was supposed to go hike the Fish River a few months ago, but that fell apart with schedules. Mozambique I've been to. So yeah, I've not been to Angola. But yeah, my next goal is definitely Namibia. And I would love to go up north as well. Ethiopia looks very exciting. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Ethiopian wolves. They're quite, I wouldn't say rare, but there's definitely not many of them around. And I think they're quite interesting. I went to a conference last year and someone gave a talk about his research on them. I think he was basically looking at their ecology and their distributions, and it was very interesting. And you could see he had so much love and interest in the species, which is always lovely to see. Where is your guys' favorite places in Africa that you visited, or where you really want to visit? Maybe we can get share some suggestions. Thanks, Wildlife Lady. Well, there we go. We're back in Madikwe, and this is looking very beautiful. This is Tau Game Lodge. Looks like we've got some waterbuck on the left there. Always lovely to see with their toilet seat bottoms. And then I also love zebra and the impala. They're having a great time, just chilling. Now, I'm not too good with birds, so I'm not going to embarrass myself. I think these may be Egyptian geese, but I can't see too well. If anyone knows what they are, please shout. Hi, Jai Bunny. Oh, Chobe is well renowned. Yeah, you should definitely get to the rest of Botswana. There's so much to see, although, at least there's not that many people. And the wildlife is great. I know some people who recently did a road trip. They went from Botswana to Namibia, and I think they had a great time. They saw a lot of animals. So what is quite exciting in the next few months, I think we'll be seeing a lot more babies at the waterholes, which is always exciting. So if you're planning on coming to any parks in the next few months, expect to see lots of little nurseries of babies. It was always very cute. Hi Grant, do I have a favorite baby animal? Oh goodness, so many. As I said, I work with buffalo, and they weirdly are incredibly cute when they're young. They don't have teeth, or they've got sort of little teeth coming out, baby teeth, and they just look so cute and so helpless. What is your favorite baby animal? Baby eland also very cute. It just looks like a buck. It doesn't necessarily look like an eland. It's very cute. It doesn't have the horns yet. So yeah, it's quite interesting to see one of them, and you only realize it's an eland because it's with mum. Oh, I see we have a heron. Always nice to see.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. I grew up mostly in the Lowveld. I grew up here pretty much on the southern side of Kruger National Park, a place called Marlow Park, for most of my years. Something surprising about myself, I did play drums in a band for many years. Best sighting I presented, we found Palumba and the two cubs, and the cubs are just way big.
Some ellies that we're approaching now.
The light on her as well is absolutely gorgeous.
So we are going to enjoy the rest of this sunset.
Wow, 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 this is absolutely crazy.
And thank you for joining us. For myself and Cam, we will see you next time.
Oh, and we're back in Kenya. These two are having a nice chat with each other. A gathering of sorts. And you can see Kilimanjaro in the background. That's lovely. Has anyone been up here? To Oldonyo or Amboseli or I guess to Kili. I've never climbed Kili, but it's on my big bucket list, which keeps growing. Yes, melanistic marble, that is Kilimanjaro, yes. I can't see if it's clouds at the top or if that's some ice, but it's looking good. It's not too clear. Has anyone climbed Kilimanjaro? I've climbed Mount Kenya, which was lots of fun, but yeah, would definitely love to get to the top of Kili. Lovely. So lovely watching these guys. Just having a drink with their giant straws. Has anyone seen any of the tuskers? So if you don't know, tuskers are the elephants with really, really long tusks, sort of that come right down almost, or some to the ground. I think there's only about 18, 17 left in the wild. So would be really lovely to see one before you die. Hi, Janet. So yeah, wild animals, I don't think they climb all the way to the top of Kili, but definitely sort of the base. It's quite like foresty, quite thick bush at the sort of the bottom. And then as you climb, obviously the vegetation is more sparse, and I don't think you'd see animals that high up. Oh, and you can see on the video that is some ice on the top. That's very nice to see. So yeah, I think you'd get animals, I would say like elephants, because it's not such a steep terrain. I would think the elephants and buffalo, maybe giraffe, would go quite high up, but probably not all the way to the top. And then I think smaller animals, rodents, obviously birds, maybe some monkeys will go a bit further up. Yeah, so apparently you get blue monkeys and colobus monkeys that inhabit the lower forest zones. So blue monkey is our samango monkey that you get here in South Africa in some areas. Oh wow, Jive Bunny, I am so jealous. That's so lucky. Yeah, I think times have definitely changed since then. Obviously we don't see many rhinos anymore. Very sad. Hi Pam, you asked if different baboon species can interbreed. I would think that they can, but I don't think that they would in some cases, just because groups seem to stick together. So it would be more like they wouldn't interact with each other that much. But I think in Kenya you have, I think there's 2 or 3 different species of baboons. That there's the yellow and I can't remember the other, but they do seem to breed. I think their distribution ranges overlap quite a bit. Oh yeah, so it's the Anubis and yellow baboons in Kenya, which seem to interbreed, and then the Hamadryas and the Anubis in Ethiopia. So I hope that answers your question. Hi, Dark Main Lover. Nice to meet you. I hope you enjoy the show. Yes, 2 disco days. It is the perfect, typical African scene. Yeah, what a great setting. They really placed that camera trap perfectly. Oh, beautiful. So if anyone's keen on climbing Kilimanjaro, I think this is the right time of the year, sort of August to, or maybe July till October-ish. It's a good time. And then I think at the beginning of the year as well, like January to March, it's also a really good time. Hi, Penelope. Yeah, it's very sad. The ice cap is definitely melting away. But it's nice to know that they're trying to alleviate or slow down the process. Yeah, I think for years, because we didn't really see the big changes in our climate and the weather, no one really believed it, or they didn't take it too seriously. And now, I'd say in the last year or so, we're seeing these sort of really dramatic fluctuations in our temperatures and rainfall. And now everyone's starting to take it a bit more seriously. Well, I hope they are. Hydrated shorts. So they pro-swat their tails because of flies. Flies and other insects that are bugging them. So if you've never been to Botswana, here's your opportunity. This is a riverbed of sort, it looks like. You've got some beautiful zebra. And obviously a nice big herd of elephants. It looks like there's some younger babies.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so because I've... best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
This is unbelievable.
Oh, she's gonna catch it.
Come on, Tommy. Watch this, we're about to see a kill.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
Every month, something wild lands in your inbox. From rare sightings and behind-the-scenes secrets to expert stories, seasonal changes, and exclusive travel opportunities, the Wild Earth Journal is your free monthly mailer, packed with the magic of the wild straight from the field. It's fun, it's free, it's full of surprises. Sign up now on the Wild Earth website.
So a lot of the work that I do is based around climate change and how animals are coping with the changes. Unfortunately, there are not many data sets that are large enough that can tell us too much. But we can already see sort of the limits of some species. So we can already sort of predict in the next few years if temperatures increase as much as they're supposed to, some species will definitely be suffering, which is very sad. But also it's quite interesting how animals adapt as well, or they relocate, and then obviously, yeah, some thrive in these difficult environments, and then others don't. Oh, Ellie's telling the zebra who's boss. Out of my way. Sure, these are quite big elephants. Obviously very hot. I feel like this is me when I get back from a run. Immediately cold water. Oof. Really making a spectacle. Hi, Hans. Yes, absolutely. Elephant tusks can puncture. They're incredibly strong, and it's quite common. especially when they're provoked or when they're being attacked by something, they will try their hardest to survive. So yeah, if they have to use their tusks, they will. I know I've heard of humans as well being sadly killed. There was a ranger or something a few weeks ago who was I think he was watching over the elephants. They weren't completely wild. They were sort of rehabilitated, and he was just watching over them, and he got pummeled by the tusk. They don't know why the elephant decided to, but she just turned around and attacked him. So yeah, it does happen. Buffalo as well, they will use their horns. Rhino as well. There have been quite a few photos and video footage of lions with holes in their side, sort of limping along because they've just had a fight with some animal, some prey animal, and sometimes they don't survive, and sometimes they do recover, just depending on where they get hit. I'm back looking at these guys, still hanging out at the waterhole. So we can see the one elephant is flapping his ears, and obviously that's for thermoregulation, so he can regulate his body temperature, cool himself down as well. But I think in some circumstances, if just say you are near an elephant, it can also be sort of an aggressive sort of warning, like don't get any closer, I may attack you. So yeah, which I think is pretty interesting. They definitely try to warn us. In some cases not. So I wonder if these are just some wandering males. Thanks, Dark Main Lover. Yeah, what a lovely sight. So beautiful. Now we're still in Kenya. And no large animals here. Looks like, can't see too well, but I think these are, I think that's a hoopoe. No? looked like a flash of orange. Someone knows? I thought they were just pigeons initially. I think they're just pigeons. If someone actually knows what these are. Wow, obviously all the animals are hiding under a tree somewhere. Yes, that's a pigeon. Do we have any avid birders? And if so, which is your favorite animal? And which is... not animal, sorry, bird. And of the birds, which is sort of your favorite one to see in the wild? Hi, Marissa. Yeah, really good question. So climate change is a completely natural phenomenon. It happens sort of every few thousand years, or maybe hundreds of thousand years. But then we have anthropogenic climate change, which is what we've caused. So anthropogenic meaning human, and it just means we've sped up climate change with our own sort of devices. And I think that's the problem. It's just climate change is happening at a really rapid rate, and yeah, things are changing faster than they should be, which sort of just dysregulates sort of other natural behaviors, if you will, if I can say that. Thanks, Julian. So these are doves. Just basically. I'm going to say basically a pigeon, but you can fight me on it. I understand that they're different. Doves are more in the wild, and then pigeons are sort of seen in the urban areas. You can definitely tell me I'm wrong. And then we're back in Madikwe, and we've got our beautiful water buck and a little Ellie. I love the water buck. They're so beautiful. They just look so peaceful and friendly. I wonder if the elephant has any friends with him. Ah, now we see a beautiful giraffe. Thanks, Dark Main Lover. Peregrine falcon, very nice. Very fast birds. And the shoebill, yeah, that's a good one. Good luck seeing one of those in the wild. I think I remember seeing one in Uganda when I was very young. But very difficult and very interesting birds. They're quite intimidating. They've got those eyes that just stare. Here's a beautiful giraffe. I also love a good giraffe sighting. Oh, there he goes. He's showing us his knees. Oh, there we go. Do you guys notice he's got some birds on his back? So these will obviously help to clear parasites that are hanging out on him, ticks, any sort of bugs. I think these are oxpeckers, but I can't see too well. Oxpeckers are renowned for hanging out on on these type of antelope or ungulates. And yeah, just help keep them clean. They've also proven that oxpecker birds will continually, if there's an open wound, they will feed from the open wound. So not as symbiotic as everyone actually initially thought. Hi, Marissa. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, wetlands are so important, and no one, especially I suppose in urban environments, we just sort of see a wetland as just grubby, marshy, ugly looking area. And they're so important for the ecosystem. I recently did go to a conference where they were speaking about wetlands and how they're decreasing so much, especially with urbanization, and I mean everything's just drying up. And because the wetlands dry up, then everything that survives in the wetlands also either dies or has to move on or adapt to the new environment. So they say that there's been about 35% of wetlands lost in the last 40 years, which is pretty scary. So they're really important, and a really important hub for carbon dioxide and oxygen release. So what exactly were you working on, Marissa? That's very interesting. Surely you should be telling us all the stats. Please share your knowledge. I work specifically with animals, but the environment is so important for their survival. So please share what you have to say, or what you know, should I say. Hi, Lady Macbeth. Welcome. Oh, it's a bit hot out at the moment. Welcome to the show. Does anyone know how many species of giraffe we have? We don't have to include subspecies, just species. There's quite a few. So giraffe are, although they're quite overlooked, and I believe they're quite endangered at the moment, or definitely on the list. They are vulnerable. People always overlook because they don't understand why they would be, why their population numbers would be decreasing. Giraffe are a favorite with poachers, for their meat, obviously for their skin. They're beautiful. And then I think they're also quite affected by drought. So they live in these quite arid environments. And yeah, what is interesting, which I learned from someone who worked in a zoo, is unlike other animals, when a giraffe is starving, you can't actually physically tell. They don't sort of lose body mass or muscle mass. You don't start seeing ribs sticking out or anything. They just one day topple over dead, which is really interesting. And it would be really cool to look at the sort of metabolic systems and to see how their body systems work. Hi, Nathan. I mean, yeah, giraffes not making sounds, it could definitely be an advantage, but I think they're also so large. So I think they'll still be spotted by a predator. And apparently they do make a sound. It's just very low. And here we have some warthogs, very cute. Apparently warthog have really short memories, so they'll be mid-chase with a lion or something and will sort of forget why they're running, and then will obviously be taken out by the lion. I don't really know how true that is, but it's like a sort of a common myth about them. I would also not like to be attacked by a warthog. They're very dangerous. Even though their tusks are very small, they could definitely cut some major arteries in your calf leg, your legs, your calves. And we are back at Tembe. This looks like Eden. This is really beautiful. Looks like a little stork over there. Hi Nadiwa. So there's so many different tests you can do depending on the species. So like I worked with mole rats, which have very good spatial memory. So you would like make sure they memorize, just say they're sort of, they live in tunnels underground, so you would change their tunnel system, like change the direction of one of the tunnels or block the tunnel, and And then you can just manipulate, see how they react. If they know, oh, that's the wrong way, I should be going this way or not. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it depends on the species. There would be lots of different memory tests. I'm not too sure how they would test the warthog. So there's a test called the passive avoidance test.
Oh, wow.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website. Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Their bark has been eroded away from elephants and rhinos that use them as a scratching post. It's really funny. They also get itchy. You don't really think about that. Hi, Helga. Yeah, it's looking really, really pretty. A bit brown on the ground, but the trees are green. Thanks for joining. And here we've got another giraffe also having a little drink. Looks quite young. I see there's another giraffe on the right that's just out of view. I can just see his foot, I think. Looks like a foot. So yeah, it's probably the only time a giraffe is really vulnerable, when he's having a drink. Oh, there he is. This is why they have to keep looking up when they're drinking, just in case there's a predator lurking that can easily jump on them. Back to Jamala. We've got some animals now. There's some zebra. And look at that elephant. He's looking so white. He's obviously been spraying lots of sand on himself to cool himself down. I wonder what that elephant's thinking about right now. Hi, Mike. I have spent one session with a leopard. They're really interesting. Obviously, we know this. Quite recently, I learned that leopards are really bad when it comes to anesthetizing them. Apparently, they will wake up just without you even injecting them with the reversal drug. And so they're quite terrifying to work with. And when they wake up, they just jump up and attack anything in front of them, whether it's a human or a tree. So do not recommend anesthetizing them. But yeah, do you have any questions about leopards? Have you seen any recently? Thanks, Darkmane Lover. Yeah, cheetahs are really, really lovely. Very interesting. My PhD supervisor has done, that's his favorite animal. So I've learned a lot over the years from him. What is your favorite thing about them? I love the cute little sound they make, which you don't expect from such a large animal. You expect it from like a cat, your domestic cat, but not from a cheetah. Also, they have what feels like sandpaper on their tongues. to obviously lick away fur from their prey. But it's quite therapeutic. I don't know if you guys know about the cheetahs from South Africa that were relocated to India. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. It was quite a big project, and there's quite a lot of media about it, and there were quite a few ecologists who were against it and said, oh, India's not, they haven't prepared properly for this, and some people were totally for it. So they were sending cheetahs to India because cheetahs used to live in India, they just went extinct. And then some ecologists from India, or conservationists, approached some South African officials and said, please, let's work something out and bring some cheetahs here. Oh, I see. So we have some eland on the right. That's very exciting. These are beautiful creatures, very docile. So beautiful, though. There's a special place in my heart for the eland. I lived in the Kalahari for a few years, and we had some on in our game farm, and it was always so nice when you go out for a walk and you'd see the eland, and you could get quite close to them, and they just sort of look at you and slowly walk off as if you're absolutely no threat. Oh, something scared them. Oh, the elephant's been a bully. That's not very nice. Oh, here's a young zebra. Oh, cute. Hi, Molly. Oh, which are the most skittish of the herbivores? Ooh. I think any of these ungulates, antelope, are quite skittish. There's a beautiful shot. Some sort of hartebeest or toppy. Is this a toppy? Yeah, so I mean, they're all prey animals, so they're all alert all the time. And it also depends where they are. In some parks, they may be surrounded by more humans and etc., so they're more sort of accustomed to other objects, and they won't be as skittish. But I would think impala and zebra are probably the most, or maybe not impala, but any sort of buck. I mean, dacre are also pretty skittish. But I think, again, it depends where you're working. I worked in a park, and when they came to do a game capture survey, they said our antelope were incredibly relaxed compared to other parks they worked in. So yeah, I think this is a toppy. This is in Serengeti. That's really special. These guys they're so beautiful. I love their horn shape. I wonder if he has any friends close by. They're normally also in a large herd. Has anyone seen the migration? Been to Serengeti recently? There, he's got a friend. Lovely. See how he checks his surroundings, making sure there's nothing close by, nothing.
Dihamba ehlathini elikhulu, diphula-phula amazwi omoya, indlovu zilula ngengoma, livakala phezulu.
Ah, the bush, full of beauty, wonder, and absolute chaos. And now, all that madness has its own show. It's called a Wild Bush Week. The countdown of the most outrageous, heart-stopping, and sometimes downright ridiculous wildlife moments of the week. Lions throwing their weight around. Hyenas gate-crashing the buffet. Leopards doing, well, leopardy things. Each week, it's a fresh reel of safari gold. A mix of drama,
She's just got an impala, everybody.
danger, and a healthy dose of laughter. So, if you fancy a highlight show with bite, and I don't mean just the animals, tune in to a Wild Bush Week. You bring the tea, and we'll bring the tusks, tails, and teeth.
Mixing in with the background, you can see he's quite a similar color to the ground, or you can see how skittish he is. This may be because he is sort of by himself. Usually when they're in herds, or this is why they're in herds, just to help with protection and feeling a bit safer. Has anyone seen a live kill before? An animal being attacked by a predator? Would be really cool, but also devastating at the same time. I think as humans, because we always see these animals from inside a car or behind a screen, we don't realize how cruel nature is. Even when I go to Kruger, or if you hear about humans being killed in Kruger or anywhere else really, and you just don't, I think when you're there, you're just like, oh no, I'm a human, I'll be fine. You don't realize they don't really that doesn't matter to them. They're hungry, and you just happen to be out in the open and vulnerable. Recently, when I was in Kruger, I was very nervous because we were running in the mornings, some mornings, and the one lady has been doing it for years. And I was petrified every time I went for a run because I had to accept I could die this morning. And it made my runs quite unpleasant, just because you can't really enjoy it. You're just sort of looking around all the time, waiting for a lion to jump out at you. I think, though, if an animal did actually see you, especially like a hyena or where they don't actually know what a human looks like, they would be startled for a few minutes, and then they'd come with their curiosity and probably try and attack you and see what you are, if you can be eaten. This doesn't include leopard. So I think leopard are more renowned for planning their attacks, watching your movements over sort of a long-term period. In the Kruger, the staff villages, they've had quite a number of attacks by leopard. So yeah, not great. But if you want to live in Kruger or work in Kruger, this is the risk you take. Hi Lolly, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying it and seeing some really interesting animals. I'm really enjoying this topic. It's not often you can watch them for so long. They're quite skittish. Thanks so much. Thank thank you to Wild Earth for placing all these cameras in some really cool spots. Oh, look at the plains. That's so typical of Africa and the Serengeti.